Welcome to UnReal Weddings. This is our first episode, and I'm so excited to introduce you to our couple. Elijah and Emily are two amazing Sims that were given to us by Marcus or ThatGayRat. You can check them out on Twitch, and we are so excited to be able to give them the wedding that they are hoping for. So let's talk a little bit about our couple. Elijah and Emily have been together since high school. I always like to meet with our couples like before we start planning and get to know a little bit more about them. So Elijah's had a pretty topsy-turvy life. His mother, unfortunately, was not very supporting of him during his transition. And when he met Emily, he realized he'd found the love of his life who would support him, and a family with Emily that would support him. So I'm really looking forward to being able to see how their family is going to come together during this event, and hopefully afterwards they will be an even stronger family unit. So they're looking for something a little bit historical to go with their wedding, but they're also not looking to follow the totally traditional wedding timeline. Emily and Elijah are thinking of not doing a bachelor and bachelorette party. They actually just want to do an engagement party where they bring together all of their family to get to know each other a little bit more. So they're thinking of doing a really nice camping trip. So they're going to pick out one of the bigger lakeside retreats for their vacation, and they're inviting their close family and friends. So let's get to know a few of them, and we'll explain a little bit more about each of them. First, there's Michael Burke. Michael is Elijah's father, and he is probably the best father you could ask for. When everything looked a little down for Elijah, Michael chose his son over an unsupporting wife. And then there's Christian Poole, who is Emily's dad. Just as supportive and awesome. He has been really great about bringing Elijah into the family. There's Malia, Emily's grandmother. Emily's grandmother is an interesting character, and I feel like there's so much to her backstory we don't know. Maybe one day. But Malia is here to be the maternal figure that Elijah needs and has been there for Emily forever. Let's see who else we can find. Talking with Elijah right now is their friend Elliot Sorensen. Elliot is Elijah and Emily's best friend, and he's going to be there for them throughout the wedding. He's like the best man, maid of honor in one. Emily has found herself a peanut butter sandwich. She's just on it. Who else do we have? Of course, we can't forget this guy. This is Emily's little brother, Kaysen. Kaysen is quite a bit younger than Emily, but is a really good... Wait a second. What is going on here? Alright, we had to fix that up. Give some clothes to this sim. Oh wait, oh, he still doesn't have hair, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have hair. One sec. Alright, looking good. This is Brendan Sorensen. He is also one of Emily and Elijah's best friends, and he is Elliot's husband. It's always a good time when you're on a family trip, especially before a wedding, to get started meeting with your new family. So Elijah's here chatting a little bit with Christian and a little bit with Malia, discussing the wedding and what it's like to be married and just the excitement. But of course, even with a family as nice as Emily's, it's always good to take a chance to enjoy some time alone. So Elijah and Emily have escaped a little bit out into the rain to play some horseshoes, of course. I don't know who's gonna win, but let's see what happens. Okay, so it's probably not Emily. What about Elijah? Okay, not either. Alright, so maybe horseshoes is too difficult. Always gotta remember those flies. Eventually, the whole family joins in as the rain has stopped, and they're all gonna hang out a little bit outside and enjoy that outdoor air. Elijah gets started on the barbecue. I think he's making veggie burgers, which is fantastic. All the guys sit down and make a nice marshmallow on that fire pit. And of course, the pools get together to do a little bit of horseshoe. They're having their lovely burgers for dinner that Elijah finished cooking on the barbecue. Everyone seems to be hanging around. The rain definitely started up again. This weather is not the best. Wait a second. Michael's out here too. Apparently Michael also needs some time away from the family, so he's enjoying his burger out here alone. Looks like it smells super good. I wonder if Michael will ever find love again. Malia, the grandmother, has sort of taken over the main bedroom and fallen asleep, so Elijah decides that we're probably gonna have to take another bedroom. Elijah and his dad also sit down to have a conversation. Elijah's a bit worried and he expresses that, you know, how do I know that what happened to you and Mom isn't gonna happen to me? And Michael reassures him. Your fiance is supportive and kind and will always be there for you. And unfortunately, my wife was not. We always gotta train for that dance moves for the wedding. So Elliot and Kason are figuring out. Actually, they're wearing a very similar outfit. Kason is like a mini Elliot. Grandma Malia also jumps in on this action. She's got some moves. Oh. Whoa, wait. Okay, she's... Wow. Grandma Malia. I don't know what's happening upstairs right now, but Christian Poole has found himself the magical lady and a bear. And the bear seems to be offering some decent advice towards what Christian is worried about with the wedding. Right on, bear. You're so right.
Florid Plash. Miudo.
The sun dawns on the next day and the camping trip is over. Today is the day to take a look for venues. Emily and Elijah have discussed a little bit about what they would like for a venue, and they're particularly looking for something that's a bit historical and that kind of reminds them of the beautiful private school that they went to. Luckily, I know the perfect place. Hatley Castle. It's built in 1908, and it's a wonderful Canadian castle on the west coast. It's beautiful and has lots of open space for an event. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. This is Judith. In our Sims world, she's the current owner of Hatley Castle and is here to help with all the events and venues. Luckily, we're pretty good friends. I introduced her to Emily and Elijah, and they hit it off pretty well. So there's 3 open spaces in this Hatley Castle. There's the dance area, the main hall here, and then a smaller room that usually is used for things like food. There's also an industrial kitchen that can be used for events. Lots of open space for cooking. And the really nice thing about this venue is not only do you have a beautiful indoor space, but you also have a wonderful outdoor space to use, if the weather permits. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to have the ceremony and the reception here. I explained to Elijah and Emily that this place fits everything that they need, and it's also in their budget. They're looking for possibly a purple, gold, and sort of natural elements for their decor, which will be perfect for this venue to match the vibe of its historical and antique-y feel. Always remember to double check with your venues. Sometimes they'll allow certain decorations and sometimes they won't. So things like hanging lights on the wall or even lighting a candle can sometimes be not allowed at venues, and that's good to know before you start decorating. Alright, now that we found the venue, we gotta get these folks dressed. We'll start with Elijah. He tries on sort of a more formal, usual suit. Doesn't quite like it. I'm gonna try on something maybe more blue. He's pretty excited about this one, but then he remembers they're going for a purple theme, and the blue probably isn't so great. He explains to me he wants something that's fancy, but also casual, that explains his unique personality, but gives him some chance to give some flair. I pick out a few pieces and let him try them on. I think he likes them. He looks super suave. Over to Emily. Emily is not quite sure what kind of dress she wants. She's a little torn. We started off with perhaps a vintage lace dress. But that's kind of not a winner. And then we find this number. A beautiful A-line gown, lace sleeves, lace details, and a beautiful veil. The family definitely approves. I think it looks great. We give her some space, take a look at it for herself, and she seems to really like what she sees. Hold on a second, though. Wow, that girl is flexible. Alright then. Ow. We're almost at the wedding, and the night before, Emely and Elijah decide to send some letters to each other. Dear Emily, you might say you are the luckiest person in the world, but that would actually be me. There were times when I never thought I would find someone who could love me as thoroughly and completely as you do. You have been my constant support, my constant backup, and my best friend. Who would have thought those two nerds that met in the library would be here now? I'm constantly in awe of your patience, your big, beautiful brain, and your wonderful smile. You've saved my life, and I am so, so grateful that I get to spend the rest of that life making yours the best it can be too. Love you to infinity and beyond, Elijah. Dear Elijah, I cannot wait to be your wife tomorrow, to be even more proud of the man beside me in life, and to start a new lifelong adventure. Thank you for being the kindest person I've ever known. You have been through so many challenges, and yet you still became this generous, courageous superhero. It sounds bad, but I'm thankful that some of those challenges led you to that library that day where I was hiding. I'm so glad to have someone who I know will love to learn and experience the world with me for the rest of my life, and I promise to be there for you through the good times and the bad, as always. I love you so much. See you very soon. Your fiancé, Emily. And while our lovebirds sleep, me and my team get to work on the venue. We need to bring our purple, gold, natural, antique vibe to life. We start on the dance floor. The weather's looking a little iffy the night before the wedding. Hopefully it clears up. Day 5. It's the big day and the sun is shining. Everyone seems really excited and they are looking great. Let's take a look quickly at the venue and what it looks like from the floor. The guest list is fairly small for Emely and Elijah's wedding, but they did invite a few friends from town. They didn't invite Elijah's mom. And sometimes you have to choose these things. Our music is on. That DJ is working it. She's having a great time. So is Judith. We did invite Judith. I don't know if she goes to every party, but possibly. We also hired a guy for the piano. He doesn't seem like the most popular attraction. But wait a second. Who got the cake? That better not be the wedding cake. Who is this? Oh, Kaysen. Kaysen! Look at that face. He knows exactly what he did. Also, where's your clothes? Who wears a jean jacket to a wedding? What are you doing in here, chef? Look at this cake. Everyone is eating it. Why are you looking so proud of yourself? I came in to give her a piece of my mind, but I guess a piece of cake was also good. We're gonna need some help. She seems to be making a sandwich. Ooh, Elliot's in here. Maybe he'll help. Okay, no, he came for cake. Oh, Elijah's here. Okay, Elijah's actually gonna make the cake. I mean, the groom really shouldn't be making the cake, but it's actually really sweet. He's gonna do it so that Emily doesn't have to know anything that's going on, and Emily can just dance her worries away and does not know that the wedding cake is already half eaten by her brother, no less. Good job, Elijah. And he put the wedding topper on, so no one should be able to take a slice from that one. And now it's time for the ceremony. We get everybody gathered up as much as possible. Emily looks stunning, and Elijah's face just says it all. Oh, that's it. They're married. Oh. Wow, they're really working it for the camera. Okay, folks. I guess the ceremony's over. Oh, okay. All right, that was great. Elijah gets everyone together. It's time for food. Emily pulls some French toast out of her dress. I don't know where she got it from. Maybe that dress has pockets. Everybody enjoys a little bit of dinner. Even the chef. I have to say, this is quite the spread. Our chef, we probably should have vetted our vendor a little bit more on this one. I think we have some sort of spaghetti and half a cake and some French toast. Definitely good to look at your vendor's references. Judith, don't look at me like that. I did my best. Oh well. Even if the food was not fantastic, everyone is still having a fantastic time. And that music, definitely ready to go. Even the piano guy's here. Oh, go Michael, go! So excited. Unfortunately, our groom is a little bit tired. Apparently, he didn't sleep too much the night before. But he got back in there, no trouble. Everyone's on the dance floor having an awesome time. Even a serenade. So good. Amazing. Alright, people, let's do some dancing. look at Michael go. He's so on it. I love the different styles of dancing. It's like the simple head bob motion of most dancers. You've got the little sort of wave happening, like Emily. Although not everybody seems to be facing the right direction. Our DJ is also missing. But like Elliot's over here staring at a wall. And so am I, apparently. That wall is super great. Apparently it's another pose session. Wait for it. Okay, when we said get down on the floor, that's not what we meant. I have no idea what's happening. But apparently they love each other, and that is also perfect. Once again, sometimes the family can be a little intense, so Emily and Elijah take a little bit of a break to do a bit of a dance session on their own. Doesn't take long before someone has to come along and ruin it, though. Kason likes to also learn his dance moves from the rest of the adults. Okay, I totally missed this, but apparently we cut the cake. I feel like that's something you're supposed to do with your new husband. Emily, what were you doing? Well, there's Elijah. Alright. Also, Chef, you need to, I don't know, get back to work. I think something cute's about to happen, so we're gonna follow them a little bit. Alright, here we go. Alright, so at least they fed each other cake, but in all honesty, that should be happening with both of them. We did end up putting a bar outside, which was kind of nice. A lot of people are here getting some good stuff.
Gibbs.
Elijah and Emily discuss how good of a wedding it was and how much they enjoyed it, how excited they are. Also that they're a bit tired.
It's
time for a few photos. The castle gives such a good backdrop. It's so neat. Ugh, they're exhausted. Family can be exhausting, and a wedding in general is just exhausting. So they're spending some time to celebrate with each other privately. Where are they sneaking off to? Aww. Even though weddings can be an absolute mess, doesn't always matter. These two have been through a lot, and sometimes you might not get the family you chose at the beginning, but one person can make all the difference. Congratulations, Emily and Elijah, on your wedding.
Wish that I could find the words to describe you now. As I'm lying next to you and the world goes quiet. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. The one who understands.